big hi from Vinod. Today we are going to talk to Ms. Malarviri Balaji. She is celebrated as the book lady of UAE. She started her career as a corporate trainer and now she's a woman entrepreneur who owns this bookstore called Booktopia. Let's talk to her and find out her journey from being a corporate trainer and how she became the book lady of UAE. Let's meet Malar. Hi Malar.
Hi Vino, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Very good. Very excited to talk to you today.
I'm very excited as well. Actually, whenever I think about Malar, the famous book lady of UAE, what comes to my mind is a lady draped in sari, sitting in an yellow chair, and reading out books for children. But I am really curious to know about your journey, where this all started, and how you became the book lady of UAE.
So my journey started way back from a very little place or a tiny town called Ambattur in Chennai. So that's where it all started. Fortunately, I was born and raised in a family where everyone were bookworms. It was just a everyday thing to see my grandmom finish all her chores in the morning. You know, she had her own reading nook where she sat with all the magazines and, of that week. And my grandpa was ardent literature fan. It was just a normal thing in the household. But for me, as a single child, I just fell in. I don't know where it exactly started, but my parents always tell me that even as a child, a book has intrigued me more than a toy or a candy or a clothes. Influence also comes from where I grew up in Chennai, where literature and the language, which is Tamil, the language is very rich in literature. The heritage is just thousands and thousands of years old. So that kind of inspired me, and I just started reading. My journey started, or this entire thing happened because of how I grew up, where I grew up, and what I grew up with.
Amazing. But what did you study? What was your education?
After school, I did my engineering in computer science because that was the IT time, and IT kind of boomed, and we were all, in awe with Bill Gates and Microsoft and all these new people coming out, and then I moved on to do my management. But my heart was not there. I started doing leadership training. So I've done 7 international leadership trainings. I am a certified leadership coach. And when I did my leadership training, when I practiced as a leadership coach, I got the opportunity to read a lot of self-help and motivation books. Then I started writing my own leadership books and books on management, but it was just not there. So when I came to UAE in 2016, I just said, okay, let me take a break, settle down in Dubai, write my book. That was the year of reading in Dubai. It was just meant to be, I just came in 2016 for a break. It was a year of reading, and the government of Dubai launched this beautiful venture, which is still there, called the Reading Box. So they set up Reading Box in public places, like it was in a mall here. For the entire 10 days, they conducted a lot of reading events. They took reading to the people. And I was the first Indian to be a part of it. And they asked me to do some reading workshops and all that. That was a huge hit. I just got connected to my reading and my books, and by then I started talking about reading and promoting reading to children. So that happened. And then after being in Dubai for like 6 months, I understood there's a huge gap in the market for books. There is a gap in the book industry, and I thought, let me fill it, but in a way which I like. So that's when I started my company Booktopia here, where there's a lot of reading, there's a lot of community engagement. It's a core bookstore.
For any book lover, what you are doing, your journey is like a dream journey. But
Yeah.
Malar, like maybe the journey sounds very simple when you narrate it. Like you came to UAE, you were part of an event, and then but I'm sure this was not that easy. How did you grow in this, and when did this actual store happen? What was your journey from the book reading event until Booktopia?
See, since I had some experience, because my husband is in the book industry for the last 25 years in India. So we have a lot of bookstores in India. So the book industry was not new to me. Again, as a book lover, I was just waiting for this opportunity to launch all the books that I read and enjoyed, So that was also not new to me. But what was very new and was challenging was the region and the region's acceptance to this kind of a concept. If you see, Dubai is a vibrant mix of expats from across the world. We have people from UK, US, Lebanon, and people with a lot native speakers here, native Arabic speakers, and it was just a vibrant mix. You just got everything. So to cater to that kind of audience who have exposure in different regions and different literature, as I said, see, I come from a language and a region where literature is very strong, and so are Lebanese, so are Egyptians, so are British, Americans. So everyone have their own unique literature. That was the biggest challenge I faced, and to understand the region's dynamics and what the demographic actually needed. So what I did, I started doing markets. Went down to the grassroots level, just a table, a selection of books. It was just not open a store. I studied the people here. I did a lot of school tours. I went to schools. I spoke to children. I traveled with the government. Where every time they had an event, I went and spoke about books. And I understood what people wanted. And fortunately, people were happy that there was someone to talk about books, and they were very receptive to a concept of, okay, let's read, and we all want. It was just not children. It was for adults and all of us. We all love books, right? To establish that was a huge challenge that we faced, to kind of consolidate everything and create a common platform which is not biased, which had everything for something for everybody. That was a huge challenge that I faced. But luckily, I think people have been very kind in supporting me.
But Malar, being an entrepreneur, this is a separate category. Anybody can become an entrepreneur and they can focus on the business. But what you are doing is amazing to me, because you're also reading books. You're promoting the whole habit of reading to children. Why did you start doing it?
When I spoke about my journey, and I've told you the kind of things that I've tried and tested, and I realized that reading books and promoting books, just talking to books, is the calling of my life. And I wanted a base for that. I also love to be an entrepreneur. I love the kind of freedom that I have, and to grow and establish things. So it was a perfect synergy of following my passion and my business. As I said, I had huge inspirations with me. My grandparents were avid readers. As I said, I still remember this vivid image of my grandmom sitting there. She had her own pillow. Nobody touches that. Was her reading pillow, where you kind of, it was a reading cushion where she had her own reading nook. And those were the inspirations. So as a child, I didn't know what books had to give me, but I was inspired by her. Likewise, children need an icon. Children need an anchor to just try and say, let us try it. What's wrong? Oh, she's doing it. And that comes when we interact with children, talk to them about books, and introduce the magic of books. Each child is different. Some children like space. Some children like unicorns. Even as adults, I love to read classics, and my husband likes crime thriller. So we all have different genres. All we want is an anchor, a space and a dimension for us to talk about it. And I felt that it was my duty and responsibility to share what I've learned over the years. And when the government started calling me the book lady, and children started, every time they see me in a mall or somewhere, say, oh, that's a book lady. That it kind of keeps you motivated and inspired. So now I'm really motivated, and this is my vision, to promote reading to children across the world.
And what can reading do to a child?
Fundamentally, and a very common thing that we know, is the vocabulary increases, reading comprehension increases, your communication skills increase. But there is also other things, that we have to look in, use books as a medium to teach children, which is their emotional intelligence. Now, for example, a book, what it actually gives is, there is a story, and the story has some characters. They define a character, there's some event that's happening, and then they learn a lesson, or something else, and how they handle it or how they don't handle it is what we learn. That is nothing but a life experience in just 10-15 minutes. And how easy can that be for a parent to just not advise the child and say, children I don't like people advising me, even at this age, and children don't like it. So it could be an amazing tool for parents to expose children or introduce different life situations to children. So when they encounter that situation in their lives, they know that character in that book, that's how they handled it. Like when my husband proposed to me, and that's how I answered. I said, yes, you can be my Mr. Darcy, because that's what Elizabeth Bennet told in Pride and Prejudice. So that's what I'm going to do too. So those kind of life instances. You can just live one life. You just have this, but when you read books, you can lead a lot of lives. You can understand individual personalities. There's only so much exposure we can do in real time, but books give you that. It is there on a platter to take you to, I can just sit here, read book and travel with books. Now I know about Lebanon because I was reading Khalil Gibran. I know how the US works because I've been reading a lot of books from the US. I know what 18th century looked like because Wordsworth and Shakespeare, my God. And I know women have always been strong, independent individuals because I read Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca, or we had Jane Austen. It is just a holistic life approach. That's what books are to you.
When we are talking about how books can change the lives of children, and we are talking about so many authors here, but I also now get reminded of the children who are in rural areas, in very small villages, who don't have access to, who don't have the luxury to access all these books, the whole world of books. And Malar, I came to know that you are doing a lot of work towards them as well. Please let us know more about it. We would love to hear from you about that.
Also being a very socially responsible person, this is something that I have a lot of anxiety about. This is something that kind of disturbs me and troubles me a lot, is because the kind of prejudice that the children in the rural parts of any country or in any developing country, the kind of stories that we listen to, they don't have exposure to the kind of authors, books that normally a children in a city or a well endowed family has. Children in underprivileged families, or where there's just not enough exposure, they don't get it. So that is something that has been worrying me for quite some time. So over the years, what we've done is we've started working with many organizations to establish small libraries or small reading nooks in NGOs and educational institutions, or like an association who kind of gives help in villages. This is something which I've started over the years. And now I want to do it more across, like in refugee camps. And I want children to kind of exchange books from different countries. It would be great, right? Like for a child sitting in a rural part of India to get a book from a child from Africa, it's brilliant. Once they read it, they can exchange. So this is my visionary project, where I set up lots of libraries across, and lots of people have been supporting me in that, in Africa, in India. And we're also speaking to some people in Sri Lanka and Jordan, Syria, where, like refugee camps. We want to send books to them. We want children who have their own grievances and going through a lot of difficult times. We want to give them, just like a toy, we want to give them a book which might ignite a learning spirit in the child.
Here, I want to share a life experience with you. I grew up in a very small town and I never had access to any book in English. So when I was studying fashion, I was in my 30s, and I had a project in my college asking me to do a kids collection inspired by some fairy tale. And then I realized that I have never read a fairy tale in my life. Yeah, I was wondering, so what is this Snow White story? I have never heard about it. Who is this Cinderella? Nobody told me the story because I was from a rural background, I started reading once I moved to the city while I entered my university. Only then I started reading. And at the age of 30, I went to a bookstore in China, to an English bookstore, and I bought few books. And then I made a collection inspired from Pinocchio. But that's the sad reality. It happens to many children around us. Not everyone is privileged like every other child, right?
Definitely. And I feel that's something that all of us should take very seriously, is because, see, learning is something that nobody can take away from a child. Books are going to be an instrumental role in imparting that kind of life experience to a child. A child just needs one spark of ignition. If you can be a catalyst by gifting books to people. I've always gifted books to children and to anybody, my friends. And people know that when they gift me books. This is exactly the change that we all have to. It's a very small thing that we can all do. Just gift a child one book that might ignite. When we started the year, I did a campaign where I said, read 20 minutes. Was it 2020? So 20 minutes to a child, it could be anybody. So, it was just a random campaign where we said, for 2020, let's do 20 minutes of reading to, if you don't have children, there's always some child around. There are so many organizations which need help. Like now we have Zoom call. You can be anywhere in the world. Just take a book, connect with the child, read for 20 minutes. You do not know, you are doing a huge life favor for the child.
And now let's have some conversation about business. How is the COVID period treating you?
It has been a quite of a roller coaster ride. But honestly, how I take it as an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 13 years. Business has always gone through some challenge or the other, and this time all of us are going through it together. This is just beyond all of us. For me, luckily, again, since I've always been promoting reading, I've used the COVID time to speak to more children, to do a lot of book videos and talk to people. Again, since a lot of people are at home, people are buying books, which I see is a very encouraging trend. In simple words, I just took the situation and brought out the innovation, saying, yes, this is a crisis. Now, how can I do my business better in this kind of situation? Luckily, we launched our online e-commerce website. We also launched a campaign which said, stay at home, read a book. After all the distance learning, and that was the first phase we started. The second phase, once the schools finished and they were closed for summer vacation, we said, turn it off, read a book. So we said, just enough of all your gadgets and all your Zoom meetings. We did a campaign called Turn It Off and Read a Book, which also worked very well for us. And so that's how we are coping. And yes, it is very difficult, but I think as all entrepreneurs, we will continue to be resilient and work harder.
That's very encouraging. But I would also want to know how you manage your time, because for women, we have so much to do. Our hands are always full. We have children, we have family, we have a house to run, we have an office to run, and you have a store to run. How do you manage your time?
It's been a struggle, I'll be very, very honest. It's been a struggle because especially with children, and I see that all the children across the world have taken a huge hit. I mean, 6 months to almost 5 to 6 months of a childhood staying cooped inside the house. And I feel for not only my 2 children, I have 2 children, not only them, but the children of the world. I really feel for them. See, it is difficult because children need children. And so for me to keep my children happy, I can't say happy, but at least to keep them entertained and keep them occupied, they need me more than ever. The business needs me more than ever. Staff need me more than ever because I'm the leader of my team. So they're looking up to their leader for motivation and encouragement. It has been a struggle, but I have been coping because I've been reading a lot of books, and it's my Zen time. Fortunately, after being in business for so many years, you know how to organize things and compartmentalize. And I make sure nothing gets to my head. At the end of the day, it's over. Tomorrow is a new day.
I think being organized solves a lot of problems. Once you're organized, I think half the job is done. Being the book lady of UAE, what would you like to say to all the children around?
Not only to the children and to all the adults and to everybody who's reading. As I said, and as you beautifully named this entire thing as Be the Change with Bino, all of you can be a change in someone else's lives. For, as I said, if you're an adult, just take a book and read 20 minutes a day to your own child. And you just don't have to read a storybook, you can just read an article out of a newspaper. It is just a connecting, bonding time. There's so much you can do with books. And for children, there's so much that you can learn. Life is just not about, you did not read a fairy tale, you turned out well. I know how much you love books. So you don't have to go by bestsellers or this particular genre. You just have to try. And if you don't like this, move on to the next thing. If you don't like that, move on to the next thing. Don't worry. Till you grow up and become an adult, the book industry and the publishing industry have a lot of different kinds of books for you. So the change starts with you. So you have to start it. And if you take that first step, and if everyone takes one step, we are going to travel very long.
Awesome. If someone wants to listen to you read, you read for children, right? Is there a way people can listen to you?
You can follow me on my social media handle, Read with Muller, and on Facebook and Instagram, or follow my business, my Booktopia UAE, and you can listen to me, of course, or you can just message me. I'm happy. I just had even this, just before this, I had a call, the mom who said, my daughter's written a story. can you read it? I said, of course, I'll be happy to read it. People are sending me books too for me to review. So I'm quite available on the social media, and I'll be very happy to meet new people and talk to friends.
Thank you so much, Malar, for your time. It was wonderful talking to you. Talking about books always gives a pleasure. Not only reading, even talking about it gives a lot of pleasure.
Been a true pleasure for me. I wish you the best for your Be the Change with Vino. I'm sure it's going to inspire a lot of people who are listening to it, and wish you the best, Vino.